Hey, what's up everybody? This is Captain Nathaniel Lemmon, FloridaSightFishing.com, and I'm out here as we started summer, and I'm here to bring you my June fishing report, talk to you a little bit about what we were catching in May and June and what you can kind of expect for July and August, because I might have said this in my last video, but when everybody asks me what my favorite time of the year to fish is, it's right now. June is the month that you want to be here. It's a great month for everything. Redfish, big redfish, small redfish, snook, trout, big trout, tarpon around. There's a little bit of everything. Heck, we even had some great fishing for grouper in the last month. There's a little bit of everything that we can catch this time of year. And so when you're looking to plan a summer fishing trip, definitely last half of May, all of June, most of July, even some years August fish is just the same, but it's a great time of year to get out here and catch a bunch of fish. So I actually just wrapped up a charter today. It was almost a 10 redfish day today. A few trout mixed in, but we were sight casting redfish all morning in the oysters. So I'm gonna throw a picture up here of one that we caught that actually this fish had 32 spots on him. So it's the most spots we've had anybody catch, or I've had anybody catch this year on a redfish. So here's a picture from today's charter, but let me talk to you a little bit about what we were doing the last couple months and throw in some pictures of some of my clients and some of the fish they caught. I'm actually going to go back to May to talk a little bit about snook before I get into the redfish, because March, April, and May were really good for snook. We were catching a pile of them. March was really good for big ones. April got really good for numbers, and then May was a little bit of numbers and a little bit of size. So we're still catching snook now, and we will throughout the summer. We tend to find them randomly, not randomly, but they're really scattered this time of year, especially in the backwaters. So we tend to pick them up while we're fishing for trout and redfish. You know, one or two, not a whole lot of numbers this time of the year, more just picking them up in random spots. If you were to want to fish snook in schools this time of year, it's definitely the thing to be doing is the giant snook, or the big snook, the ones over in the 30 to 40 inch range. Those are all grouping up at the inlet to spawn right now during the summertime, so it's a closed season on them. And then those fish come back in the inlet at night, and you can find them at the bridges and docks. But that's where your chance to catch a snook up to 40 inches is going to be this time of year. Just depends on the clients I've got. We haven't actually spent a lot of time doing that because we're catching so many fish in the backwaters that we don't really need to go drift for the snook at the inlet, or sit for the snook at the inlet. But the ones we've been catching in the backwaters have been pretty good, up to like 32, 33 inches. So here's one of my clients. Actually, this client, he built my house. He was the contractor for my house, longtime client. I brought him out with a friend of his, and they had a good morning catching some snook and some big redfish. So here's a nice snook that Charles caught. Here's another one of my regular clients. He actually lives here local in the Edgewater area, which is where I'm at today. He lives local to the area, and we did a trip. We didn't catch a lot of fish, but we caught this one, which is, I think, his biggest snook that he's ever caught on lure, which was a nice one that was probably about 14 pounds. This is a charter I did for a regular client. His company gave a raffle away for a gift certificate to come fish with me. So 2 guys won it. They came out for a day. Man, we had a barrel of laughs. They were some great people. We caught a lot of snook, I believe some trout, and then they actually caught like a 5 or 6 foot bull shark that came, it leaped right out of the water beside them after we caught it. So that was a lot of fun. So here's a picture of a nice snook that they caught. Had another new client. He actually wanted to do some fly fishing, so he joined me for a morning. We caught this snook on fly. I actually caught a couple of them. We caught them on live bait, and then I took him to the lagoon and we sight casted redfish tailing in the grass the rest of the trip. Which leads me into the next point of conversation, which is to talk about redfish, because June has pretty much been a solid redfish month for us. That's what we've been targeting all month, last half of May and all of June, and we've been getting some redfish up to 45, 46 inches, all the way down to 20 inches. It just kind of depends on where we're fishing them. We fish them in the backwaters, we're catching them in anywhere in that 20 to 32, 33 inch range. We fish them in the deep water, we're getting them 36 to 45 inches. So here's actually a new client that he had some additional people, so we did a 2-boat trip. on my guys, we tended to focus on the big ones, and so here's a giant one they caught that was pushing 30 pounds. This is one of the few they caught that day. There's another regular client, the last few years, actually came down with another guy. We spent the morning, like, man, I think we can get some big ones, so we spent the morning doing that, and they caught a few like this one. Let me check this one out. This is a jumbo redfish. Another one of my regular clients and his buddy, they're from the Orlando area, and Brady really likes to want to catch a big redfish, and he brought his friend Scott out, and here's a picture of Scott, because Scott is the one that caught all of them that morning, and I think he had 3 or 4 of them like this, and then Brady finally got one, and we ended up losing him at the very end of the day. You'll actually see Brady in my next report, because he came back out since then, and the tide was reversed, and he caught all the big redfish. So we'll get to that one the next month. This was a new client that joined me for a day. He's out from out west. Wanted to come in here and hope to catch a big redfish, so we got that checked off the list for him right here with this picture. So you can see the big ones are starting to bite. We've been catching them fairly consistently, usually 3 or 4 every day. Some days, the past week or 10 days, it's been a little bit tougher. We've only been able to get 1 or 2 here and there. But in the same time, the backwater bite for redfish has just been phenomenal the last week or 2. The water, can't really tell right now because the tide's almost fully in here where I'm at, but the water's been extremely low for us the last couple weeks. That low water just pulls all the fish out of the backwater. So if you know where they're going to hang out, chances are you can find some good schools. Like the trip today, there was probably 50 of them in there that were moving around for us up to 30 inches. So we'll throw in some pictures here of some people, other clients we've been hitting up the flats in the super shallow water and catching redfish like this. So here's a new client. Actually, I took him out 2 days, and the first day we were catching some fish. I was like, man, you want to go look? I had a place this winter where I was catching some giant redfish. We should go check it out. Well, sure enough, they were there, and so he succeeded and got one right up almost 40 inches right here off the flats. Another client and his sister joined me for a day. We caught some snook around the docks. We caught some trout, and then I took them to a big school of redfish, and they were able to catch a few of those. And here's a really nice one, mid 30-inch redfish that he caught. This is actually my longest running client. He lives here in Central Florida. He's been fishing with me for, God, it's got to be close to 20 years now. Beautiful morning, caught some redfish and trout. So here's a picture of Mike with a real nice pretty redfish he caught off the flats that morning. Another client and his wife and their kids, we actually did a 2-boat trip and split the group up into grandparents joined too, and we split the group up into 2 different boats. So I had the mom and one of the boys on my trip, or on my boat, and we finished up the day with him catching a few of these nice redfish up in the oysters. One of my longtime clients from Pennsylvania, he's another 10-plus year client. He's fished with me a few times this year and wanted to get one more trip in before he went to Pennsylvania and brought his grandson out and check out this redfish he caught. And if you look really close, I'm not sure you can see it, but on his tail, this redfish had a bunch of little spots lined up down his tail. I think he had like 14 spots on that redfish, so really cool, unique one. I've never really seen him the way he had spots on his tail like that, so it was a really cool fish. Here's a couple, before I get into those, let me finish up with redfish. Redfish is pretty much going to be our standard staple for the next couple months, so we're going to be able to target them. The fishing's not going to slow down on redfish anytime soon, is what I'm trying to get at. The shallow water is going to stay really good July, August, into September before the water starts really coming in, getting higher. Big redfish are going to keep doing their thing in the deeper water and moving up towards Ponce Inlet this fall to spawn. Just kind of like the snook are there now. They'll start to leave and the redfish will take their place. So if you do want to get in the redfish bite, you've got no problems coming at any point in the rest of the summer. They're going to be here and be an option for you. Other things that we have that are just starting to show up a little bit more in numbers. Here's a client that fished with me actually a couple years ago, came back again for another trip. Now, we were having some hard times getting other things to bite, so we just threw everything out the window and went and did something totally different. I took him to some docks and a deeper shoreline, and we turned in a great grouper day. I think they caught a few Goliath grouper up to about 15 pounds, multiple black and gag grouper just short of being keepers, and then we were looking for some big redfish, and I said, man, you see all those, it looks like tarpon over there blowing shrimp out of the water. I think we should get over there and take a look at that. Oh, it was tarpon, and they were blowing shrimp out of the water, and I had some of those shrimp, and it was as fast as we could throw them in there, they were biting them. So here's Sean with he actually caught a couple of them, but here's one that we landed. It was about 40 pounds with a nice tarpon. So lots of options this time of year. It's just about being flexible and moving around until we find something that's going to cooperate for us. So here's another client. It was a new client, came down, spent 2 days with me. We did a little bit of everything. I showed him everywhere and every type of fish, and finished one of our days catching this really nice flounder before he jumped on a plane and headed back home. So covered some tarpon, covered some not unique, we have flounder, but here's a flounder photo. Showed you some redfish, showed you some snook. The only thing I didn't include in this report is any trout pictures. Not that we haven't been catching them. We've been catching tons of trout. Great time of the year. Summer is our time of the year to catch trout. June is our time of the year to catch big trout. So you're probably going to see some pictures coming up in my future reports, but 10 to 15, 20 trout a day could be the average this time of year, and we get some big ones. This year the biggest has only been up to about 26, 27 inches for me. We're catching lots of them in the 18 to 24 inch range, which was 2 days ago we caught about 10 of them that were all 20 to 25 inches. Today was just a few that were like 20 to 22 inches. Yesterday was just a few. Just really depends on how much time we spend focusing on it. Since we've had a good redfish bite, we've spent more time doing that, which means we're catching less trout. Other days we'll spend a lot of time on trout because we want a lot of action, and we'll catch a pile of them. So as you can see, this hope gives you an idea why this is my favorite time of the year, because there's so many different options. We're going to catch fish somewhere, somewhere every day. There's no days this time of the year that are ever like we're not catching some fish. The bait that I use this time of the year is a really good bait. It's a pain in the butt for me to go get them and catch them, but they're worth their weight in gold because we can turn every one of them into a bite. So the moral of the story is, if you want to get on my boat and spend a day with me this summer, you need to do it fast, because my July is almost full, which we're about to start July tomorrow. My July is almost full. May and June we're completely fully booked, and August is starting to fill up now too. So these are our 4 busy months of the year, the busiest: May, June, July, August. Everybody wants to be here for summer vacation, and it's busy. So you don't want to wait till the last minute to try and get with me. You want to definitely reach out to me. I tell everybody 4 to 6 weeks out is a good idea, because I usually book up 4 to 6 weeks out. So you want to get with me at least a month in advance if you want to have any hope of getting on my summer schedule. The way to do that is to reach out to me. So throw some contact info here and show you my business card. Phone number is 386-212-4931. You're welcome to call me. I am on the water pretty much every day this time of the year. Text message is often the best way to reach me. So if you call and I don't pick up, definitely shoot me a text message, because I don't pick up my phone on charters, because I don't want to pick up my phone on your charter. So shoot me a message, leave me a voicemail, and I'll get back to you. Text messages, I'll get back to you on the boat. Voicemails, I'll wait till I get home and can get everything settled and return some phone calls. Website is floridasightfishing.com. Check out my website. It's got all the info about costs, deposits, pictures, all kinds of info about the area, about the fish that we catch. It's a pretty comprehensive website. It'll talk to you about everything that I do. Again, floridasightfishing.com. Phone number again is 386-212-4931. You're welcome to shoot me an email as well. I get the emails once a day, so definitely, like I said, text message or phone call is probably the easiest way to reach me. Hope you enjoyed the report. It's a hot day out here. It's back into the low 90s here at the end of June. We're probably see the sweat dripping down my face. It's a warm one, and if there's no wind, it's even warmer. So bring some water. Let's catch some fish, because our fish do not care about the heat. The water's already hot. It's already hot outside. Our fish don't mind it at all. We're going to catch fish one way or the other. All right, so hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you do want to spend a day with me, get with me and let's do it. Okay, until then, tight lines.